Alright, welcome back, guys. Today we've got even more summons. We got a bunch from the event, and we just finished TOA normal and hard. So here's what we're looking at. Here's our TOA goodies, a couple LDs, nothing special, and then 90 mysticals from basically the event. So we're going to summon them up, see what we get. I'm going to go over the event briefly just to kind of talk through the plan. Here's my Nat 5 current status. So I've been hitting it pretty hard. I've so far pulled 5 of the 8, all 5 dupes, which is sad. You'd like to use this event to filter a little bit, but in theory, every dupe I get reduces my dupe chance by like 1%. So I think my dupe chance at the start of the event was like 66%, and now it's down to like 61 over the last 3. So math-wise, I have a decent shot of getting 1 non-dupe, and that's kind of what I'm going for. If I get 2, I'll probably wait until the very end of the event, because it's possible I could pull one or the other before the event ends, and then that would inform my choice. If I only have 1 non-dupe, I pull it immediately because there's no harm in it. And if I have all dupes, I see if any of them are worth building, and if not, I just pull it and crystal it, right? So that's kind of where this is at. Not a big deal, but I do have enough monsters where dupes are a very likely possibility. So to me, this scroll/event not as good as the Ancient Transcendence, where you're guaranteed a non-dupe. So if you're looking at spending on the scroll that is like this, keep that in mind. As far as the Infinite Coin Shop, here's been my approach. I bought scrolls to 100 because then they start going up by 2 each, so that gets pretty expensive. And then there's this post on Reddit that kind of shows you like the efficiency path that is most worth it. And it basically says energy to 240, I believe. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing energy to 240 because energy pays for itself up to 100 because every 100 energy gets you 100 points, so it's free. So energy is really worth it. And then I'll do runes at some point, but I'm farming it hard enough that I'm going to get everything in the shop that I want. So I'm not super concerned about the order. The only thing that slightly might matter is getting the mysticals before the extra mystical event ends. And the extra mystical event ends before this event ends. So in my mind, you want to get at least your 100 mysticals out of the way before that, because then they're worth an extra zero point 0.1 each. So only kind of thing to keep in mind. The legendaries are good, but priced against the mysticals, they're not as good for a long, long time. Because the mysticals are really cheap, and they give you a chance of an F5. Not as good as a legendary, but, a decent chance. I would highly recommend the artifacts, the reapps, the grinds and stuff, but then most of this stuff is not as important. I mean, we'll get the crystals at some point when they become a better value than actually buying what you buy with crystals, which is energy. So we want energy to be a better value than crystals, and that's kind of my approach there. So don't know if anybody's struggling with that, but if you're not sure, what to do, I would highly suggest checking that post out on Reddit, because it's been a great help to me that someone did the math. So from my last big old session, which was the kind of super lucky session, we got this guy, which I don't think we're gonna mess with. We got a second Molly, who we're definitely gonna use. I think she's skilled up almost. We're gonna skill her up when we 6-star. We got the Wind Shadow Caster, which I think is not very good. And then we got Aaliyah, which we're definitely going to use in guild content. So, not too bad. We're hoping for similar results today, which would be kind of ridiculous. But we can't really expect it. We've got under 100 scrolls, so about a 50% chance of an At5 with the 2 legendaries. We'll just kind of see how it goes. So, let's go ahead and clear some space, and then we'll get to it. Got a lot of shadow meows now. Some shadow meows, meow, hypno meow, hypno meow. I think I want to build the blue one, but I don't know. None of them are standing out in like a competitive sense as specifically better or worse, at least that I can tell. So there's a possibility I'll pull a light dark one. We'll just see. And then there's no rush to like build one immediately because they didn't offer any event. Like a lot of times the events are like, once you 6-star this new thing, you get stuff. There's no event like that. So we're not forced to rush it, but we still want to play with them. So we'll see how it goes. All right, here's our 1 water scroll. So lonely. We've got 90 mysticals, so we're hoping for 8 to 9 lightning. So we'll see how we go. Definitely want the SP button all the way, because we want Hypnomeow skill ups, and we don't really need any other skill ups by comparison. Hypnomeows are very, very underskilled because they just came out like 2 days ago or whatever. So let's see how it goes. The Shadow Casters, hey, there's our first one. So far, it seems like the kind of consensus is red one is good, and that's about it so far. I've seen a little bit of action with the blue one, but it doesn't look great. And then I think the wind one looks pretty universally terrible. So unfortunate that that's the one we got, but maybe it's in that sweet spot where it's so bad that they'll buff it into usefulness, Because I doubt... Hey, there's number 2. I doubt Come to Us is all about making something brand new and making this great art and then having it just be, you know, a laughing stock. You know, having people literally just pull it and storage it and not even 6-star it. Like, they can... I'm sure they have data on all that, and I doubt that was the intent. But maybe. I don't know. Christina exists. I don't know why Christina's an Nat 5. All they had to do to not make Christina a joke was not make it a Nat 5. No one expected it. Maybe there's some rule where it's like if you make a LD Nat 5, you have to make an elemental as well. I don't know. Just sort of not a choice. And then they keep giving her little buffs, but it just never is useful. I don't know why. It's so weird. Anything wind, especially anything wind AoE, Lucian exists. So if it is not at least a side grade from Lucian, it's a problem. So I think what they could do to give things a leg up on Lucian that's a Nat 5 is give it like elemental advantage, right? Kind of like a Theo or something where, yeah, it's wind, but it functions like an LD in whatever it does well, which is kind of what they did with Pungbeck, right? Because the flat damage, the splash damage is flat. There's number 3. So I kind of respect them for that. We get a pumpkin. Pumpkins are pretty much food across the board, I think. I don't see myself building a second Windy. I built one, and it's okay, but I think I got in on it so late that the, you know, true usefulness of it has been sort of solved by defenses universally, which is a bit of a bummer. So 55 left, looking for about 5 more. We're right on the rates. We've got 3 lightning, and we should pull about 5 more. We'll just see. Down to about a 1 in 4 chance from these mysticals. So I'm not assuming anything, and we don't have a blessing, so the odds of something new and interesting are kind of low, but maybe the SP button gives us a little bit of a leg up. Not a ton, but something. So we went through a little drought of 10 there, which we'd like to fix that with a back-to-back. That'd be nice. Or a back-to-back-to-back like we had last time. Looks like the summons have cooled off a little bit from that one session, which that session could make up for my summons for quite a while. Getting 3 new off of 60 scrolls and a Transcendence. Like, even the Transcendence should not have statistically been new. How are we doing here? Alright, so we just hit our limit. Nope. Let's go ahead and dump them. And we'll get back to it. It's kind of nice having another session so quickly due to the event. Like, they didn't market it the way they do, or it's like 100 free mysticals, but that's what it is, you know. I feel like whenever you see that 100 free mystical type thing, it's super exciting. Whereas this one is, there's a lot going on that's super exciting, but they didn't lean into the mysticals in particular as, you know, a big deal. Hey, there's number 4. So we're way behind the rates now. Hey, another Joker. We're still skilling up Cian, so we'll take those. It's been a slow road to scale him up, and I don't have a second Lucian. I don't know that I need one, but I'm a little behind the times in my Jokers. And I could fuse them, but that's a lot of work. So we're at 4 of the expected 8 still, with 20 left. We're looking for 2 more, which would put us 2 under the rates of what we would expect. But if we get 0 more, then we're 50% of expected rates, which that's how it goes sometimes. You get sessions like last time, and sometimes you get the opposite. At least the 4 stars have been pretty good. Like, I'll use both of those Jokers. Those Jokers will immediately have an impact in my game, which is kind of nice. Not that I use CN too much, but they could have been, you know, what, Wind, what's the thing's name? I'm trying to think of that Wind 4-star that's like, oh my goodness, I can't remember. No, well. That Wind 4-star, I feed every single one of them. Alright, 9 left, so less than 1 expected lightning, which I think will put us at 4 for the Mysticals, which is pretty underwhelming. Maybe we'll get none. It's been a pretty droughty little session here. Doesn't give me a ton of hope for the legendaries, but they're completely unrelated. Oh, yeah, there's number 5. So we got 5 of our expected 8. Oh my goodness, never mind. It was all worth it and great. Because one of them was Nat 5, so we beat the rates. Pretty sure we already have this one, so that's food. But yeah, 50-50 chance. Very last scroll. Let me just double check, because I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% sure. Alright, highest grade. I know there's a better way to check this, but yeah, there we go. So we've already got one. All right, so we're going to feed it. We do that here. No, we do that like this. Special. Other. There we go. Into the grinder it goes. Cool. And then we're going to buy our blessing. Yes, yes, yes. It being fire means the odds of it being anything useful were basically 0. Because my fire summons are pretty full. Cool. Well, we were down on it, and then it turned out great, because the one lightning that mattered is the one we got. So let's look at fire real quick, just to check what's going on. So we don't have the fire Hypno-Meow yet, which we had kind of hoped to get it off of this one, but there's still the 4-star event, so I'll just target that, and I will get it. So that's kind of nice. Missing just a few. Of the ones that matter, I would say this guy, maybe the new Hap Thingamajig, and then John wouldn't be bad. But yeah, most of them, not very good. All right, well, that's kind of nice. So we've got a blessing going into the last couple of summons. So let's just get them done, and we'll see what we get. Only, I think, 2 or 3 LDs. So odds of an LD, basically 0. As always, that's how I do it. What I don't ever want is to summon LDs with anything even resembling hope, because that's when you get really crushed. Like, I don't want to go in with like 50 LDs. I want to go in with a 0% chance all the time and be like, yep, I got nothing, or pleasantly surprised, right? So let's get these out of the way. We'll do our 2 legendaries, and we will call it a session. Number 1, Hellhound, excellent. Number 2, it is Vagabond, okay, all right. So we'll do the normal legendary, then we'll do the Fancy Pants legendary. Lightning. Forget that one's name. Blue Acasis. I should know. Lumericia, that's right. All right, good chance. A chance of an LD of some sort. So we'll see what we get, and go. Hey, Hypno-Meow. We'll take it. So another wind one. We'll just go get the fire one eventually, and we'll be just fine. All right, guys. So that is the next little session I had from the event. Worked out great. Renewed my blessing, and shouldn't have based on the number I had. So we'll take it. Good luck to everybody with those scrolls, with their TOA goodies, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Take care, everybody.